Hey everybody, it's Inanna. Hey everybody, I'm back. Hold on, let me put my lipstick on. Hold on. All right, before I go to rant, before I decide to rant with you, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank everybody for being here. Thank everybody for showing up for me. And know that I'm here with y'all, trying to hide my poison ivy. But I got it bad, real bad, and I'm kind of caught up. And by me having the poison ivy, I've been kind of ashamed to be on TV. But I mean, everybody's seen poison ivy before. So today I was thinking about my people, thinking about everybody out there, and I said to myself, well, all I got to do is keep on preaching and telling them how to use this third eye. Somebody gonna reach out to me and use their third eye. And they're going to reach out and they're going to actually, admit that they can do it. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for those people that are willing to say, yeah, I can do it. I need those people. Because even if I had an aunt right now and I wanted to send something through it, I don't even have a person with the abilities to receive it. So I know there's at least, I know four. I know me. I know two other men. And then I know another person. That's four people that I've met in 6 months that are receptive. The rest of the people it's me teaching them how to be receptive. But there are a few out there that were already receptive before I ever thought about doing anything. So of course I gotta give you some rant against the shamans. I gotta talk bad about somebody because when it comes down to it, we've been given a bad sick. So let's talk about paradise. Ooh, the paradisimo. Okay. Now, let me tell you why I do not yearn for paradise. Okay, first of all, I haven't been there because I can take myself where I want to go. But the other thing is the root meaning of the word goes way back, and it's been exchanged so many times. And just recently, like in the last 2,000 years, the word paradise became the best place to live. But from my root understanding of many years of learning before they did that, what the Paradisus movement a holding spot, like a cage or a cell made to hold an animal. Now, it has been glamorized into this wonderful place where milk and honey flows. But the Paradisimo that I remember was a holding cell, a place like the paradise, or the paradise would be like where I kept my pet dog, a pinned up area where they couldn't leave, and I had supplied them all their food. So like an aviary for a bird. It was a paradise. It was a holding cell. So now the Paradisimo is the place to be. You see how religion can distort the true meaning of the word. Now, even y'all praying to go to the holding cell. Well, call a spade a spade. So, but let's talk about the paradisimo. Somebody else wrote about it. Hey, it's not just my opinion of what it is now. This man wrote this book in 1970. And it's about paradise. And he's talking about paradise. And this is his description of the paradise. But there's also a drawing, a really nice drawing, really nice painting of the paradise, how it's supposed to look. But in reality, it was the first word meant a holding cell or a place of holding, something like an animal pen. And so now the paradise is the place to be. Okay, so let's read about what he thinks about the place to be. I'm not fighting to go to no place of holding. Um, Even these first words, he hinting to the true meaning of paradise, the man who wrote this encyclopedia. But he's going with the more modern concept, I think. I'm going to read it to you. But it was a holding cell. Okay, so now he says it like this. He cleans it up. Listen to how he says it. Happiness was associated with enclosures rather than open spaces in the ancient Middle East. So now they're going to put happiness in the enclosure. Let me read that part again where he turned the enclosure part. He said it was an enclosure, but he said there was happiness associated with the enclosure. See how it's glamorized? I don't want to be in no enclosure. Okay, so now imagine this. The word paradisimo, the root word of paradise, is a holding place, a holding enclosure, a cage for a human. It is a, like they have for the zoo for the elephant. That's what the real meaning of paradisimo mean. Okay, now they have glamorized paradise and turned it into a good place. So now his statement, trying to cover his own ass when he made this book, it says the first statement about paradise, it just breaks it all down. It was a holding cell. That's what I knew it was. But listen to what he says again. Happiness was associated with enclosures rather than open spaces in the ancient Middle East. Bull. The word paradisimo, all of it mean a holding cell, an enclosure. And who wants to be in a pen? Because that's what it is. It's a pen for humans. Okay, so for deserts and hills, the wind and the sun were generally too harsh to man. Oh, it was too hard for us to live out there in freedom. When he thought of a pleasant place, he thought of an oasis or garden where he could relax in the shade with ample water and fruit. Given the resources, he might create such a place for himself. The word paradise is of old Persian origin. It means an enclosure. Oh, he's gonna have that happiness, but now he coming true. Paradise means enclosure. Are you looking for it? Are you praying to go to paradise? Because I can lock your ass under my cabinet and leave you an enclosure and feed you. Anyway, the word paradise is of Persian origin. It means an enclosure, and especially a royal park or a hunting ground. A hunting ground, for who? A piece of land made more agreeable than its surroundings by cultivation. Okay, a nice kept pen. Okay, so now the Greek translators of the Old Testament, about the middle of the 3rd century BC, employed the word once or twice in that sense. For example, in Aeschyles, I made myself gardens and parks, and I planted in them all kinds of fruit trees. But their most momentous use of it was in referring to the Garden of Eden and divinely appointed home of Adam. But it wasn't an enclosure. He was locked up in a pen. He was locked up in an enclosed area, and he wasn't allowed to leave. I don't know how I might come off to you. I'm reading the facts. Y'all so blind and brainwashed until y'all don't want to realize that I'm telling you the truth. Okay, you say, "Oh, I'm a Christian, right?" But you read the words, but the words don't sink into your soul because the first don't drink the blood of a creature. Don't drink blood. If you drink blood, you're gonna call a demon. All of that. The next thing, drink my blood. Come on now. All right, so you draw no lines. You draw no lines. You accept stuff face value. Okay, so now they got you flipped out, wanting to go to the enclosure. How many want to go to paradise? Come on, now that you know the real meaning of the word, you wanted to go there so bad you never looked up, huh? Okay, so paradise is the enclosure. You want to go to an enclosure, you can't. But that's what paradise means. That he made my point in the first paragraph, but I can go on. Okay, and they liked it, Eden, as a paradise or the enclosure for the new mankind because it had a river flowing through it. Life in the early paradise is innocent. Um, uh, I could read this whole thing for you, but I'm gonna save that for my podcast. I just want to talk to you more about paradise. See, everybody has ideologies in their religion about what they're going to achieve in the afterlife. That's what it's all based down to. Okay, I'm going to be good in this life. I'm going to have an afterlife, and I want to be treated well in that afterlife. So I have to do this or do that, right? Well, in reality, you can live your life in about 5 or 6 different lives at the same time. And I know that sounds really weird, but the brain can do much more than you think it can. And paradise is an enclosure. In the original text that it was written, it was an enclosure. But now, today, it has been transferred into the place to be. But you have to sit back and look at how, in the end, how Satan may manipulate people to long for an enclosure, to long how the bad guys, because I ain't gonna say Satan, I'm gonna say it even can be the authorities that wrote the Bible or the authorities who are in charge of it. It don't have to be Satan. They manipulated that word. They knew it was horrible. We don't want to keep them in the enclosure. So they turned, we're going to keep them in the paradise. And then they changed the word of the meaning of paradise, and that made it better. But in the real root word, it's in an enclosure. It is an enclosure. So now you think about it. Knowing the true meaning, you mean you want to die and go to an enclosure? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? You want way too much. You want to die and have no life in your body and then go into an enclosure. Sounds kind of. Okay, now you want to die and you want your spirit to go on to somewhere else. You just don't want to die and that be the end of it, huh? And it does. It does. Your spirit is a light that ain't gonna be put out. It's part of the universe. It's gonna go over and over. So why do you have to lie to? I mean, why do you have to pray and worship to a lie that you're gonna go somewhere special when your body gonna be recycled? Your spirit, that glow in you, gonna be recycled. And knowing that takes the idea of, oh, I'm gonna live this way so I can go to the enclosure away. First of all, when you put the real word in there, I want to go to the enclosure, don't sound good anyway. So, but then I want you to even go further than that and say, well, I'm going to be reincarnated. I'm a reincarnation. Huh? How? How will I be reincarnated? I'm a reincarnation. I know it. I can't prove it, but I'm a reincarnation. So now you have the opportunity to make logical choices in today's world. And you have even in your own religion is telling you that. Now your own religion tells you that somebody came in on us. Okay, now I don't know what more I can say to you. To say go look at it all real close. Even like I said, it's been 2023 years since last alien contact. That's the way I'm seeing it. Or maybe 2,123 years since last alien contact. I don't care. I don't care who it was that made the one we call Christ. I don't know who it made him. I don't know. But guess what? But guess what? He wasn't from Earth. It's alien contact. And we take that and we count it and we say, well, they come every 3,600. And they had came to the Samaria. It's time for them to come back. That's all I want to say. When I did the math, I'm not good at doing it off the top of my head. I play with calculators. But when I did the math, I was like, well, they ought to be coming back any day now. I mean, when you do the math, when you really break it down. So you can expect that sometime within this time, they're going to come back. They may come back in our lifetime, maybe not. But I'm not going to say they're not there. You can jump on board. You can jump on board with mainstream. You can jump on board with mainstream and say that our military didn't back create those machines. Even if they said the machines you saw belong to us, you got that design from them. So stop lying and stop lying to yourself. And now they're telling you they don't even exist. Even though your God that you worship was one of them. Well, they don't exist. So which one is true? Your God came here and made us, or there is no God. Which one is it now? You ain't gonna be able to feed me bullshit and call it peanut butter. The newest thing around the media is those are not spaceships. Those are man-made ships that have been back engineered from somebody else's ship, though. That's the whole point. It's been back engineered. And now they want to take credit for it. No, that's not, man. That's them back engineering machines. Now, if you're gonna be that dumb and let them tell you that the aliens don't exist, then you are really dumb because your whole life you've been believing that you was created by another being. That another being was not from this planet. He was an alien, but now you're saying he don't even exist. Come on now. Don't fall for everything. They've been blowed out the water. Now they want to. Now they want to. They've been exposed, and now they want to try to lie and say, "Oh no, that was us. That was us." No, not all of it. Not all of it. You can't make me believe that. So now I look at it and I say, hey, they got games. They got games. They got games. But in the end, oh, it's games. And you, as the public, have to be able to see through games. I am not saying that my life is ruled by some aliens. I'm just telling you, I done contacted them before. They all got their own little sneaky games, and they eat meat. That's the whole point. I don't care how much I talk. That wasn't why to make you believe in aliens. I don't give a damn. I want you to know they eat meat, though. I want you to believe that. I want you to believe they eat meat. And that you eat. And if you don't believe that, then it's fine. But that day, when that day comes, when they tell you they eat meat, remember my grand. They eat meat. They have always eaten meat. They've said it in some of the writings in the past and everything. Okay, so then if you're going to say aliens don't exist, let's come on down the line with it. You're going to say all of the religions that said that a being came and created them are lying. And that humans just evolved from monkeys. And then if that's the case, why monkeys ain't walking around with their pants sacking right now? Huh? So you either gonna bite off a chunk of shit, or you gonna just, you know what I'm saying? Either you gonna bite down hard on that lie, or you're going to say, "Oh, come on now, don't feed me shit." I say, "Don't feed me shit and call it peanut butter. Don't do it. I smell that." I mean, So All right, so our God, your God came down, made humans. That's what religion is all about, all around. But they don't exist now. God don't exist, or is it just a big cover up to act to say? And I will probably go and find those crop circles to show you that they put their symbols in a circle and burned them into our ground. Some unknown symbols that looked too legit to quit. Burned them in the ground and welcomed us to the Galactic Federation. Right after, I think it was right after we put that space station up. Also, you can go look at crop circles, and by me being a chemist, you can tell they are chemicals. They're giving us chemicals. You know why we got that machine that can go past the sun now? They gave us the formula in the crop circle for the metal. They told us go get some moon rock and it'll stay good in space longer. Yeah. Go get some of that ore out there in space and it'll be better for your ships. They told us that. I mean, so there are so many things that they told us, but I can't make you believe in anything. All I can ask you to do is test your third eye and see if that's real. And then if you even get any bit of anything from that, then you would say, well, maybe some of that stuff is real. That's all I can do. Because I got mine. I got mine. I got joy and happiness when I want it. I got peace and well being. I don't go to bed at night worried about whether or not I'm going to hell. I don't go to bed at night begging somebody to forgive me for what I did today. I feel like he gave me the energy to do it. It's meant to be done. So, so I don't live in fear like you live in fear. I live in fear. I fear God. I don't want to do anything, get struck by lightning, because that's been bred into me and beat into me. But the reality is, I'm pretty defiant. And when I say that, I mean that a person can respect their God. You don't have to fear him. You can respect him. You can respect him. You can be thankful to him. Thank you for giving me the sense that I have and the life that I have, and joys that you've given me. Yes, I understand that, but I'm scared to do it because God gonna strike me down. I mean, some of that stuff is kind of bad. And then to take that fear of God and use it as a weapon, you do what I say or God gonna get you. It goes on and on. So they're feeding off your fears and your insecurities. Okay, so I'm a naysayer when it comes down to that beat me down stuff right there that they got going on. I also don't believe, I think that according to the records, man was pretty useless without Eve. They had to make him. You ain't heard James Brown? This is man's world. It wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. It's us. I mean, yeah. It don't matter who on the top. What does matter is the fact that we like to let you think you on the top. We're good at that too. We're good at making you think you on the top. I wish I would have me, man, running around here talking crazy. I'd be like, yeah, baby, do it. Every time I think about it, I laugh. I be thinking about how I be sitting here like, yeah, right with right. I am terrible. I know I can be terrible. But yeah, I'll be a cheater. I'll be a cheerleader and shit. I'll be a cheerleader. I'll be like, you hit him, baby, you hit him. Hold on a second, I gotta wipe my head. Oh, that's so crazy. No, but it's true. You know it's true. That one almost made me laugh until I cried right there. I can see myself now like a little cheerleader sitting up there rooting him on. So Us women are terrible. My man could be wrong as hell, and I'll be sitting there like, yeah, we do that. We do that. See, women are among another. We rule this thing. We just let y'all think y'all rule it. Hey, it's easier to let you think you rule it. You can tell him he think he rule it and let him do the work, and you still be ruling it. That's what we've been doing to y'all for a long time. I do it all the time. I ain't even gonna lie. I get around a guy, I get all handicapped. I can't do nothing. When I'm by myself, I'm a damn engineer, and I am an engineer. That's what I'm trying to say, But I never tell a guy, "Yo, I'm an engineer." They'll be giving me tools to use. I like to. I'm bad. I'm this. I'm that. But what I am is love. What I am is love. To each his own. Spirituality has many different forms. You have to believe in something, and you just worth nothing. I mean, you got to believe in something. All right, and I choose to believe there is a creator that engineered us, because from what I saw in history, we had all the tools for a long, long time. There was no new elements put on the earth. We had all we needed, but for a long time we didn't take use of our senses and actually put it together. And that is where they saying there was a divine spark, where something blended with us and made us use the elements of the earth. We were given the elements, we were given everything we needed on this planet to survive as a species. But we weren't given the consciousness to want to leave the planet. Or I don't know how I can describe that. We had carbon, we had uh, iron, we had these metals available to us, but we didn't have the cognitive ability to take them and go to space. We had, we were already living in groups. We were already building structures for, you know, uh, but we weren't counting time. We weren't, we weren't advancing. We were sedimentary, like we had our basic knowledge that we needed to survive, and we weren't trying to get to another planet. We were just able to just use what we had, and we would have did fine for millions of years more. But they come and inject this urge to go to the stars into us. I do believe that, because you don't see giraffes out there trying to go to the stars. You don't see whales out there trying, and they're smarter than us, and we don't see them out there trying to go to the stars. Their part right there was injected, and this urge to leave this planet, that was injected, and it was given to us for a reason. There's a comment coming, but y'all call it a comment. It's a big ship, and I mean, we're in the way of something, and they're like, we've created a sentient being, and now this thing is going to wipe it out. And rather than start back over, we may want to teach them how to get out the way. They give you the information and teach you how to get out the way, but you ain't using it. You trying to make a damn weapon with it. But that's pretty much the sense of it. If they're looking at us from Orion, behind Orion's belt, actually, and they're looking down and they're like, they're getting ready to get hit by this asteroid that's coming from over here. We see it, they don't. Well, if we give them this info, will they use it to move the fuck out of the way? That's where you at now. But no, give them the info. Let's kill each other with it. That's where we at. So If you go back and look at all the crop circles, the ones that are real, because there's some imitations out there. They have to do that to make you feel confused, but there's some out there that regular human couldn't do. They're 3D. Well, if you look at them, you can count the elements in them. You can find those elements on the periodic table. And the ones that you can't find on the periodic table are the ones that are found floating around in outer space. So they realize that our machines rust and die. They can't take the heat of the sun, and our alloys melt. They sent us a chemical formula for some moon rock. Our scientists took it. Now we can go past the sun. That was them telling us what they use to get past the sun. Every one of those crop circles that's real either have a star map or a chemical compound, and they are sending us information, and they are only able to do it because the way their system works is certain times they get a direct shot to us, but other than that, their moons block a straight shot. But sometimes they get to see a straight shot to us, and that's when they do crop circles and stuff. You might, if we knew the rotation of the planet, we might be able to keep a track of time on their planet too. Now, um, I don't want to get deep into my past or what I've done, but I know for a fact, as I said, so hey, what if? What if we was actually doing deals, handing over gold, handing over meat to aliens, and getting technology, protections, and equipment and information and all that in return? What what is the implications of that? Does that mean that we are definitely effed? Are they gonna come in and take everything we got? They are, if we're doing that. Because this is like taking baby candy from a baby. You can play the games and you can trick him out of it, but at the end you're gonna push his ass down to take it. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So they're gonna play games with us and get much as they can, but in the end they'll take you too. See? So it is a nasty, dirty little game, and it's really hard to do anything without them knowing it because observing is so hard through our electronics and from the sky and stuff. So we can't sneak and hide from them. There's no way they know how to penetrate the ground and see where we are underground, and all those things like that. So we won't be able to hide from them. So what is left to do? And that's where I'm hoping one day us humans will be working our third eye and we'll be able to unite our third eye and destroy a few of them. That's just a fantasy. But I think us wielders might be able to destroy them. Us wielders might have enough energy to destroy them, but we're not sure. And I would probably be the first one to try to do it because other wielders are scared. I know I'm not the only wielder on Earth. So, so what was it like growing up a wielder? About by 15, my mother had so many paintings and Christian. You couldn't find room on the walls. She had so many different biblical writings on the wall. She didn't know what to see. She was Pentecostal. I was Pentecostal. But I am an Inanna. And you see me now? This is y'all just meeting me now. But at 15, I was something serious. I was on fire with my powers then. I was on fire with it. And there was nothing you could tell me because they had already talked to me. And so imagine the parent that had a daughter that was Pentecostal, but showing abilities you had never seen before. My mother was like, I swear, when I walked to the kitchen, it'd be, the two-part freezer refrigerator. At the top, there was a saying about God, and then on the bottom door, too, there was a saying about God. When I turned left and looked up at the cabinets above the stove, No, the real little ones that be high up, they got words on them too about God. When I turn around again to the next wall, it's got 3 or 4 sayings about God on it. And I walk into the bathroom and it's the same scenario. All over the entire house, all over the entire house, talking about God and the Bible. So she felt like she could pray to make me different from what I was born. Do you know how it must have felt to a child to be born this way and then have your mother trying to pray that you get different? That's why I can relate to people who are gay. If they were born that way and then their mother or father steady trying to pray and make them change from the way they were born, because you know that could be a weight on somebody for their whole life. That's why I refuse to do it. I'll accept people for face value. Because my mother could not accept me for face value. So I'm able to accept people for face value. If you are a human that's lovable, that's, friendly or whatever, feasible to talk to, I'm there for you. I can't stand people who exude this negative energy. It's just not. So I'm more like that. But my mother was one of those that had a daughter who was born with something different and then tried to pray it away or tell you you're a sinner. But she didn't do that much. So she didn't do that. She simply was upset. So it's really hard. So I know, and I feel sorry for y'all. And let me stop. I'm about to cry. I feel sorry for anyone out there that has a parent that don't accept them for real and cannot love them unless they fit to a certain mold. There ain't no fake tears. They real. If you're out there and you're acting with your third eye, who knows who you could be? Who knows what life you could save? And you are not worse. You're just different. You're just advanced. Other humans will one day be like me. But she could not accept that. She was the one to have a daughter like that. These ain't no fake tears. So you can't help where you're born. You're gonna live for what you have. And you can only hope that you meet somebody that understands what you are. I never met nobody. I've never met nobody who could accept who I was. So I'm there for anybody who can't find acceptance. I'll be back. So if you have a baby out there, a kid with extra perception, maybe talking to people you can't see, don't shame them or hurt them. Please don't put no Bible stuff up there. You gonna heal them because what you're doing is making that child feel like a demon. I have to get out. That was very hard to say.